Hey everyone, Earl Flormata here from Marketer, and this is the Claiming Your Digital Real Estate video. And so the purpose of this video is to teach you how to claim your digital real estate, so how to get more of the stuff on the internet so that people will recognize who you are, who your company is, who your brand is, what your products are, what your services are. So this is claiming your digital real estate. But before we get into that, I'll start off with a funny little story. There is a war going on between Canada and Denmark, and there's this little tiny island called Hans Island, which is a stupid frozen rock in the middle of nowhere. And the war that's ongoing is it's over a piece of real estate, funny enough. And what's happening is that the two warring countries, the military takes over the rock, and they, well, basically because there's no one there. It's a tiny ass rock in the middle of nowhere, so they go and visit it, and I think it was the Canadians that started it, but they put up a flagpole. And they put up the Canadian flag, and what they did was they put a Canadian whiskey on there, and they threw it down. And and then from Denmark, they come take over whenever the Canadians leave, and there's no one there because they take turns visiting the island. They take down the Canadian flag, put up the Denmark flag, and then leave a bottle of schnapps. And so it's just funny because, you know, whoever's flag is up means it's their island, and when the other guys aren't looking, the other guys come visit, switch out the bottle, and so on and so forth. So this is like the best war ever. So all they do is trade liquor and take a flag up and down, which is kind of hilarious. So that's it. So it's just people want to claim real estate because real estate is important. I mean, real estate, they're not making any more of it. So what is digital real estate? It is, I guess, how people can find you online, and what do they find when they look you up online, right? So the first thing is where people are thinking about you. So it's going to be your website, it's going to be your blog, it's going to be potentially your YouTube channel, and everything kind of in between, right? And so the funny quote is, home is where people are thinking about you. So wherever people Google you and find you on the internet, that's what your digital kind of footprint is. And digital real estate is how much of that footprint have you claimed, right? Now, obviously, if you've got like a unique name, like our company is called Mind of a Marketer, right? So if you got a unique name, if you're the only one out there, then it's easy to claim your digital real estate. If you got a pretty like standard name that like there's a lot of people, like John Smith, good luck getting johnsmith.com or John Smith at Gmail or John Smith on YouTube. And so it's important to grab as much of this as you humanly possibly can, right? So it's also everything else that you utilize too. So it's how people can follow you, whether it's on LinkedIn or Twitter, live streaming on YouTube or Facebook, where people can meet up with you and find you online. So the first tip I'm going to teach you guys in claiming your digital real estate is, it's really simple. There's a really cool site called Namecheck. I'll say it again, called Namecheck. The site is namechk.com. And what you do is you throw your username into Namecheck, and you can see here .com, .net, .org, .co, .biz, .io, .at, etc., etc., etc. And you can see all the different types of domains that could be available with that name. So it just searches them all. And then it also searches what's even more important is all of the major Web 2.0 sites. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Blogger.com, TechCrunch, etc., Shopify, and it looks through all the different major places, Web 2.0 websites where you can register your domain name, and that is important. And so the first thing I want to talk about is just a bonus. So if you watch all the way to the end of this video, which actually isn't very long, we will give you a bonus, and that bonus is something to do with claiming your digital real estate. So obviously hang tight all the way till the end, and I will tell you what the bonus is, and we'll kind of go from there. So the next thing is the benefits and consequences of claiming or not claiming properly your digital real estate. So I was working with one client, and they were a car dealership, and they were setting up their Google My Business. So you look at Google My Business, it shows up on Google Maps and all that good stuff. And what they failed to do was they put the right coordinates. Remember that the Google, I guess, car or truck or van or whatever it is has a 360-degree camera that sits on top. And that camera is literally recording everything all the way around. And what these guys did was they put the coordinates right, but they had the camera facing the wrong way. And so on the dealership side, this is car dealership. So there's a car dealership on one side, and then there's a cow standing in the middle of the field on the other side. And guess which one they put on their Google, right? So people look up their dealership, they see a picture of a cow standing in the field looking lonely and slightly confused at the crazy car that's driving by with a 3D camera. So anyways, they obviously did that wrong, and you got to spin it around, right? Because people are going to see this, they're going to be a little confused and go, is that really a dealership? Is this a prank? Did someone take over your stuff? And just setting it up properly, right? Other things that are really important to realize is that you also have to monitor it to make sure it stays the same. And, it's on your account, but, people can, call in and hack these things. There's been entire banks where they actually called in and they changed the phone number on their Google map listing and to a fake phone number, and people would call and it would sound like the bank, but they'd be stealing their banking information, which is crazy. So that is another service that we can take a look at if that's something that you're interested in. But this with the basics. Don't screw up your Google map listing. Make sure it's actually a picture of your business and not a picture of a random cow. I know this sounds silly, but customers have actually done this, right? So that's definitely something that you should consider looking into. Next thing is. So obviously we fixed it for the dealership. Now it's pointing at the cars. Now you can see that it's actually a car dealership proper, and everything is all set to go and done properly there now. So they're happy now, and people can actually find them. There was some research done. This is timestamp 2020. So Bright Edge did a bit of research, and they found that even in 2020, like people are saying, well, really is SEO dead? Right? Is organic search dead? Or do people still search for things? And the answer is a resounding yes. Okay. Comparatively speaking to everything, organic search ended up still being like 51% of the average of traffic to people's websites. Paid search, don't get me wrong, paid search is still powerful at 14%. Social is sitting at 5%, which is still, again, a very massive chunk. If you can capture that 5% chunk and master that space, you're doing really well. But it's important not to forget organic search. People still use Google on a regular basis, right? I mean, Google has become a verb now. I don't know, Google it. And so now Google is now a verb. So because of that, everyone's kind of just used to using it and used to having it kind of in their lives. And it's almost like a gut reaction to things now. It's like, oh yeah, I need a whatever. Let's look it up in Google, right? And whether it's Google Maps or just Google itself, it matters because, only the top 3 in Maps get called, and only the top 10 in Google, get the vast majority of the traffic. So organic search is still a very important piece of the puzzle. So there you go for that piece there. So claiming your digital real estate is not as difficult as it sounds in the beginning pieces. Like the basics are super easy. It's called NAP, and NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. Yeah, name, address, and phone number. And the real key to it is making sure that you're keeping them all the same. And I mean like super duper strictly the same. Okay? So strict that, so the name, are you capitalizing different letters in your name? Okay, so for example, my brand, Mind of a Marketer, the M's are capitalized. The O and the A are not, right? And so if I do that consistently, then that's the way it's going to be. So older sites and older things looking at Mind of a Marketer, if I capitalize O and capitalize A, it thinks it's different, right? Same thing with the address. How do you spell the word street? You'd think that that's an easy answer, right? But, a street is S-T-R-E-E-T. But did you capitalize the S? Did you not capitalize the S? Did you abbreviate it? And if you use the abbreviation, did you use ST, ST period, capital ST period, lowercase ST period? Those are all different, depending on how you put that down. And the phone number. Again, do you use dots? Do you use dashes? Do you use a trailing one? So 1 dash whatever, or your country code dash whatever. So it's in the little details where the more you have that are the same, the stronger your internet presence is, and the stronger your digital real estate becomes. So that's name, address, and phone number. So the next things are just, we're going to talk about just quickly and briefly as this an easy strategy to build your digital presence. So this is claiming your digital real estate. The first way to do this is to get interviewed. Okay. Now it's funny because people may or may not listen to your interview, right? But in the back of their head, quietly, they're thinking, that guy was, or that girl was important enough to get interviewed. They got to be good at what they do, right? Whether or not you listen to the interview or not, whether or not they do a good job at the interview or not, right? You have something that's commoditized. Like let's use like two mortgage brokers, and they've both been doing this for 30 years. One of them got interviewed. Which one's better? Obviously the guy that got interviewed. Is that the truth? No, but that's just in positioning, right? And so getting interviewed is a great way to claim your digital real estate, and that's a fantastic way to get out there more, and more people will be able to find you because of that. So that's an important piece of the puzzle. The next thing is try to get interviewed on video if you can help it. Try to get interviewed on video and it's important to get interviewed on video because when you do that, it turns into multiple pieces of content, and you can take that content and you can repurpose it a bazillion different ways. So if you got interviewed on video, you can take snapshots of the video with quotes that you've just said, and then throw that up onto the internet, and now you're being quoted from your own video, which means you're the one being referenced. And if you're a student of marketing or communication or even comedy, that is like the highest form. Like the highest form of comedy is to be able to make a reference, make it funny, and then re-reference it back somewhere during your skit. And because you've essentially just declared yourself as funny and then referenced yourself. And if you can do that, that is a super awesome way to establish kind of dominance in your space. So the same thing works when you interviewed on video, because then you can take that video and turn it into multiple different types of multimedia, right? So you can take the audio from the video, strip it out, and turn it into a podcast, as an example. You can take the actual video, transcribe it, and it turns into an article. Right, that's actually what we're going to do with this video right here. We're going to take this thing, transcribe it, and that's the article that's going to live underneath my video. So claiming your digital real estate, getting interviewed on video is super important. You can see here, I interviewed Bryce Wade, the Google Cowboy, and the short interview series for Connected Goal Labs is another program that we do. And if you guys are interested, that's something that we can definitely talk about and discuss. But you can see that you get your own little, nameplate, faceplate picture thing on the internet, and it looks cool. And then, the folks who I interview end up getting put on the pedestal, and then they get a little more attention. So that's cool for them. The other ways that you can use to claim your digital real estate above and beyond, once you've completed the first one, once you've completed the first technique, it's really simple. It's accelerated SEO is one of our products and one of our lines. This helps you get found on the internet on what you want to get found on. So like your website. So if you want your website to rank and show high on the internet, then that's what accelerated SEO is for you particularly. We've got another thing called drop pin SEO, and that's particularly useful for anybody in the services niche that visits and does on-site visits. So drop pin SEO is a technique by which you literally drop pins on a map. And so we have some software that does it for you and automatically makes it all easy. And the more pins that you drop, so I'll give you some examples. Carpet cleaning, fantastic for that because you clean carpets on site. Guys who are roofers, electricians, plumbers, anyone in the trades arena, pest control. So any of those types of things where you're doing multiple locations. Drop pin SEO is fantastic for that. And there's another way for claiming your digital real estate. And then last but not least on this list here is reputation management. Reputation management is literally taking control of how people find you on the internet. And it's as basic as how I just started, this conversation talking about name, address, and phone number, and being able to claim all those things using the name check site and doing all that. What we'll do is we'll show you how to do that yourself if that's something you want to do on your own. And if you want us to do it, we definitely have a program for that, and it's super easy and quick. We can get it all done for you at a pretty low cost. It's actually cheaper than doing it yourself, or even cheaper than hiring a minimum wage person to do it for you, because we've got that just system dialed in so well. And so I promised you guys some. I'm not gonna make the pitch. This is more educational than pitchy. So I promised you guys some bonuses for making it all the way to the end of my video rant. So here are your bonuses. Bonus number one, what we're going to talk about is getting the list of sites that you can get your business listed on. So we have a list of 530 something odd sites. The lists we update it every now and then. Some sites die, some new sites get created, etc., etc. But there's 500 plus sites that you can get your stuff listed on. And so if you're interested in that, just email us, and we can get you the list, right? So just hit us at mindofamarketer.net. Just drop a message saying, hey, give me that 500 site list, and we'll happily send that your way. If that's something of interest to you, that's bonus number 1. Thank you for listening to me and coming all the way to the end of the videos here. The bonus number 2 is the if you want to get interviewed, we've got this other brand called Connected Collabs, where we're actually putting together interviews for small to medium businesses. And if you want to get your business featured on it, it's essentially a giant kind of like stronger directory site, and it's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just have something fun to say and fun to share with the crowd and the group, and get interviewed on Connected Collab. So if that's something again you're interested in, just email us and we'll send you we'll send you what the questions are ahead of time so you can prep for the interview. It's a really short interview series type. It's 10-15 minutes tops. And so we'll interview you for 10-15 minutes. I'll give you the questions beforehand so you can prepare and rehearse and practice if that's your thing. And yeah, again, same thing. If you want in on that, just email us and get interviewed, and I am happy to oblige. All right. Well, that is it. So this is the presentation, the short version. Obviously, when we do this thing live, we take questions and we have a little more examples and whatnot, but I wanted to keep this short and sweet so that people watching on the internet, I know we have the attention span of a gnat or like a goldfish. It's like every 5 minutes, hey, look, there's a castle. And so I wanted to make it short, sweet, and interesting, but I still wanted to keep the bonuses here for the end for anybody who watched all the way to the end. So that is it. If you guys are interested in claiming your digital real estate and you want some help doing that, feel free to reach out. But you can definitely do it yourself if that's something that you want to do. And if you're just starting out or your company's just starting out, it's a really cool thing to be able to claim all these pieces so that later on, as your company grows, you can definitely use them and expand and make that all happen. So give us a shout. Mindofamarketer.net is the website, mindofamarketer.net. And this is Earl, the Chief Marketing Officer, signing out. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers. Bye for now.